Unfortunately, Pikachu has been reset. Just kidding. Yo, what's up everyone? Trayman1 here. Finally, we're back with another Pokemon Journeys anime review, and the episode that we come back on is the infamous Zapdos episode. Did Go catch the Zapdos, and how do I feel about this episode? Because I can't even lie, I was scared going into this episode. I don't think Go should catch legendaries. But let's go ahead and get right into this. Ash and Go have a power outage at the Cerise Labs, and so basically they're all confused about what's going on. Cerise ends up telling them that there's a big power surge going on, and the reason for that is because Zapdos is in the area. This is where Ash and Go decide to head to the power plant located in Vermilion City to find out where Zapdos is, and obviously they run into good old Team Rocket. And I do like how this episode is structured. It's basically a raid battle where Ash and Go team up with Team Rocket, which normally when that happens, we can get some good results. I will admit though that the animation was kind of off in this episode, kind of like it's so weird. In X and Y, the Zapdos episode, the animation wasn't the greatest. And same here, it was a lot of stock backgrounds. But I gotta say, the fight was good. Team Rocket used Stunfisk and Rhyhorn, which, obviously was Rocket Lottery Pokemon, which we don't really like the Rocket Lottery. But I think, this was a cool little team up that we got to see. Because it reminded me of when Pikachu rode on Silent Stunfisk. And, they were actually doing pretty good fighting against Zapdos. It was kind of weird how they kind of just came and attack Zapdos though, because it's like, it's just like, oh yeah, let's go find Zapdos, battle and catch it. It was kind of like, Zapdos wasn't bothering them, they were more bothering Zapdos. And I was really digging this Team Rocket and Ash and Go team up, but it sadly didn't last long because Team Rocket had to be their good old selves and try to catch Pikachu. But, this did leave once again for another great Go development. Like, I really do love that they're actually taking Go and putting him in these situations by himself. Because in the beginning of the series, Go relied a lot on Ash because, he was new and he didn't know no better. But we're really getting to see Go as a character grow and elevate. Even Koharu mentions, wow, Go's, going with his, instinct. That's kind of like Ash. Like, he's becoming more and more like Ash, which, I made a video talking about Ash, his impact on Go, and it's actually starting to show here, which is really cool. And yes, while this is very, very great development for Go, I'm loving it, it's really bad for Ash, man. Because, we've been getting a lot of Go development lately, which I'm loving. But Ash has been kind of taking a step back, and we having to be rematches and stuff, and his team needs to be developed more. And this episode really was kind of odd for Ash, because, Ash has to fight Team Rocket. They cut back to Ash in his fight, and he's just sitting there using Thunderbolt on Stunfisk and Rhydon, and I'm like, Ash, what are you doing? You literally saw Zapdos used it. The Dex told you they're immune to electric types. You know about these Pokemon. I was just so confused about that scene. I don't know. It was a weird Ash moment. I gotta say, yeah, Ash's character lately has been kind of iffy in my opinion, but I do hope it gets better. Now that we might get arcs again. But when it came to Go's fight with Zapdos, he was the man, charging in with Flygon and Raboot. I'm so glad to see that he's using his Flygon. I do like how, he uses a lot of his Pokemon from the lab recently. Go's been doing great, utilizing all his Pokemon, or at least trying to. And I gotta say, Go is doing pretty good. Flygon and Raboot was doing a lot of great damage. But the issue came where, Go actually started to get scared. Because, Go in the beginning, he didn't really care about it at all. He didn't know what to do. He relied on Ash. But here we get to see Go take charge. And yes, there's a moment where he's still scared because this is a legendary for crying out loud. Ash, when he defeats Team Rocket, ends up coming up and saying, Go, you got this, buddy. And it gives Go the motivation to finish Zapdos on his own. And I love this so much. Not only was this great development for Go, but for Raboot as well, because we get to see just how much, how close Raboot and Go truly are. I remember back when it first evolved, Raboot was really cold. We were wondering what's going on. And they had a bit of, I guess you could say, kind of arc of Raboot just not really caring about what Go says. But after, they finally start to build their trust again and grow a nice, great bond, we get to see right here in this episode just how close they are. Raboot doesn't want to give up. He sees Go scared. He's comforting him and still going in the fight. Go has been amazing lately. Even using the Draco Meteor climb strategy that he learned from Ash, again in this episode, to finally destroy this thing. And, they end up finding new ways to learn a new move. Because, Double Kick kept missing. Raboot so determined that it actually learned Blaze Kick, which I believe was an amazing new move for it to learn to defeat Zapdos. The original 1, 2, 3 After the Rain ends up playing as well, which fits so perfectly with what's going on in this fight. What I really do hope happens is that the original version of the song plays for Go moments and the new rock version plays for Ash moments, because this is the first time we got to see the actual song play in the episode. I remember we get to hear V-Vote quite a lot back in X and Y, so I'm hoping they start to use this song a bit more in the series. And you know, once they end up destroying the Zapdos, Go goes for the Pokeball. And this is the moment that had us all scared, because I'm like, don't tell me Go's actually about to catch this thing. But lightning comes from the sky, breaking that Pokeball out and showing that Zapdos is like truly a powerhouse in that. It's no joke to, you know, catch legendaries. Like, you can't just catch a legendary this easily. And I love this scene so much. This made this episode so much better for Go. Like, the Go development has been so amazing. Many people were so like against Go at one point because like they're like, oh, his development's taking too long, or he's just not a great character. You know, it's not fair how he's catching these Pokemon so easily, but this episode really did show that Go has truly came a long way. Now, I do admit I don't like some things they did, like when they skipped his first win and stuff in the Kiawe fight, but this episode really showed how much Go's been practicing, how much he's been training, and how much he's learned from Ash. And, you know, I just love the Go development. And, oh, guys, unfortunately, Pikachu gets reset again. Zapdos gets angry and hits him with like 3 strikes of electricity, like Zekrom, resetting our boy, frying him and everything. Nah, I'm just kidding. But it's actually a boost of power. We get to learn Zapdos was here to give energy back to the electric types, which was pretty nice. And speaking of Zapdos in this episode, for one, they gave him the Palkia and Lunala cry. It's like, all right, guys, it's time to get a new cry for your legendaries. I kind of was sad we didn't get the ah from X and Y. But yeah, like Zapdos was kind of a plot point. Like, I didn't really like how they handled Zapdos. For one, Ash and Go kind of disturbed it, and it was just kind of there for the plot. I do love it for Go's development, but I don't know, it was just kind of weird. I mean, I guess you could say this is a show of Go, like what it's going to take to want to catch legendaries and catch them all, which that's a good development. It's really justified that, you know, Raboot is ready to evolve now, because it's been doing this thing, especially in this fight, taking down Zapdos. It's a, you know, a great job to you, Raboot. The episode kind of ended in a nice, humble way as well, with Ash and Go more determined than ever to continue towards their goals. So I gotta say, this was a pretty solid episode. Really love the Go development. Ash, you could have been handled better, but you know, it's not gonna be too much of a downer. If I had to rate this episode, I'd probably give it about a 7 or 8 out of 10. Decent episode. I do recommend you all check it out. It's a great episode back. And yeah, everyone, in the comment section down below, let me know what y'all thought of this episode. I'd love to hear. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. TreyMan1. Peace out.